Welcome, Icons. How are all you Icons doing out there in IndiePod land today on this training Thursday? It's October 1st, which so it means we're just 31 days away, or 30 days left, I guess, till Halloween, which is cool. I admittedly am not the biggest fan of Halloween, but my kids are, so I will suffice to deal with it and enjoy it while it lasts, like the way that it is today. Anyway, today is Training Thursday, so I am looking forward to bringing in our guest, who we will be reviewing their current podcasting efforts and seeing where they can move the needle the best that they can with the least amount of effort and go faster with their show. Before I go any further, this episode is brought to you by the IndiePod University. Learn to launch, grow, and monetize your podcast. Go to indiepodu.com to learn more. The sales copy page on that is going to get better. I've been kind of putting it off. It's in my to-do list, and I have some other announcements I'll make later on in this episode of the IndiePod Daily Show. And talk about like some of the future of where we're headed with this show. So before we get there, nothing major, just some tweaks and changes, and always playing and things. I encourage all of you. Oh, that just shook everything. I encourage all of you to. Wow, there's a giant wasp on one of my cameras. Encourage all of you. It's clapping its hands for it. Thank you so much, Mr. Wasp. I encourage all of you to. It's still there clapping. It's that's fine, Mr. Wasp. Like, it's a great day. What is up, Facebook user? I'm gonna guess. Is this Chris? Is this Chris right here as Facebook user? Man, he is wiggling his butt at me now. This is not cool. Like, this needs to go find somewhere else other than attacking my backyard. Anyway, we today we're going to talk about content creation, how you can get better at it. Speaking of which, if you want to, speaking of which, what I was saying earlier about the IndiePod University, if you want to win a free month, one month free ride, I am out of sorts, into the IndiePod University, go to indiepodcasters.com/Graham and hit that follow button. I will be picking one winner tomorrow. Today's Thursday. Today's Thursday. Tomorrow, because it's training Thursday. Of course it is. And I'll be picking a winner tomorrow for Free Ride Friday. So go over to indiepodcasters.com/Graham, hit that follow button, and follow us on Instagram to potentially win a free ride into the IndiePod U. So at this time, let me bring on my this week's guest, person that we're going to make the needle move faster on. I need super claps in chat for Super Tim Brine. What is going on, Tim? How are you?
Doing fantastic, Super Joe. I get a chance to talk with you. It's a beautiful day. I did not send that wasp over there, but if you need a couple of dollars for it, if it's shaking at you.
It's securing like on the camera. It's crazy.
Hold on, I got dollar bills. You can give that wasp right here.
I am not making this up. Let me see if I can get the camera set up here. So look, it's right there. See it?
Oh wow.
Oh yeah, it's just been there clapping and shaking its butt all over my backyard. Anyway, all right, let me see. Switch back the camera here.
Well, obviously that wasp needs its own podcast. Obviously.
Yeah, right. Maybe he's trying to learn. He's trying to learn how to podcast so he can get out of my backyard and get his own house. In which case, he should sign up for the IndiePod University over at indiepodu.com. Anyway, Tim, you have a new show. So you've been podcasting for a while, right? How many years have you been podcasting?
Gosh, I've been podcasting since 2006. I've been podcasting correctly since about 2016. My good friend Kyle Pardo hooked up with me, and good old Kyle Pardo. I don't owe him $100, but that's okay. That's our inside joke there. But yeah, I've been podcasting with him since 2016. He really kind of showed me the ropes, and then met you in DC Podfest
Yeah.
right after I had a neck surgery. You taught a class there, and you helped me with editing my podcast because I was editing out every single breath, and it was taking me hours and hours to edit the podcast. So I don't do that anymore, thanks to you. Neither do I. I don't wear a neck brace either, thanks to you. So that's perfect.
You're welcome. Anything I can do, anything else I can solve for you, let me know.
I got some kidney stones right here. I mean, can you kick me in
Oh
the kidneys real
man,
good?
yeah, real. Like, it's real hard. Really crush them up. Uh, you, no. What was I even? I don't even remember what I talked about at that event.
Yeah, I think you were talking. You were talking some podcast editing, and one of your big things was to have a light touch with it. To
Yeah.
make it natural. And I took that information to heart. And I still, for about a year after that, I still hit about 80% of my ums instead of 100% of my ums. And then I was like, let me listen to Super Joe a little bit more. Let me do 50% because we naturally breathe. I just took a breath right there because I'm a real human being. I do breathe. Unfortunately, I breathe heavily, but that's just who I am. I'm a heavy breather. I admit it. Hi, Joe. I'm a heavy breather.
It's all right. Me too. Ask my wife. It's okay. It's not okay because then she leaves the room. We're getting better. We're getting there. I'm working out.
Nice.
We're gonna get bigger, better lungs, less weight, and all that. In fact, we're doing. I don't have it scrolling at the bottom, but like if it not just you, Tim, but if somebody wants to join our diet bet, it starts tomorrow. So go to indiepodcasters.com/loser. It's $35. It's 4 weeks long. That wasp is still there. It's 4 weeks long. You lose 4% in 4 weeks. You get your take of the money. And there is no losers. So if everybody wins, then everybody's getting money. Diet bet does not hold back money or anything like that. So which is great. That's because they also know a lot of people aren't going to be able to follow through. Heck, I didn't follow through. Our last winner was Clay Groves. Like, shout out to Icon Clay Groves for winning our last diet bet last year. It's something we need to do more of. I also want to start a running team in our group. now that we're on that topic, it's something I want to do. I just haven't had the time to pitch towards it. So I'm hoping maybe going in closer to January, we'll start up a running team, and get a handful of us together and maybe start doing some running events all over when that becomes a thing again. So we'll get it rolling so that when we get to the running, running comes back in actual event form, because the Disney ones, I'm wearing one of the Disney Challenge shirts in here.
Nice.
They've all went virtual, so I gotta find out how much the cost is, because I think I might sign up for one of them just because I've been doing so much running lately. But anyway, where were we? So you've been podcasting officially since 2006. We met in 2017.
Yeah, I think it was 2017 we met. Yeah.
Yeah, so that would, and shout out to DC Podfest, Jennifer Crawford. She's my co-host, one of my two co-hosts on the Business Geeks podcast, which is awesome. It's one of the funnest hours I get to spend each week on this journey, with those two amazing women. So, I've always, since, I don't know, I guess after 2 years of podcasting is when I really was like, I don't have time for this editing thing anymore. And I wish I had figured that out sooner, because I would have so much more. I would have had so much more time back to do other things for the show. Which, by the way, it has occurred to me that as being efficient and being able to get things done actually getting more episodes cranked out, because you're like, hey, I'm not editing as much, I'm not doing this as much. actually turns out to be like in some ways worse, because then you get the idea of like, my idea of like, hey, why don't I just go daily with this thing? Because like I can just turn on the camera and like blah 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 blah. But you gotta have
Hmm.
topics for every single day. You gotta have guests for every single day. You gotta have something to talk about, like that wasp being gone finally. Um, it's yeah, right. You gotta have there's a lot of other things. So like that's one of the things I want to talk, like, to tease later in this episode, to talk about some of the tweaks that I want to do with this show, the IndiePod Daily Show, to kind of free up some more time. So Tim,
Hmm.
what you have a new show that you're going to be doing, right?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. We already started it off. It's called Clearly Obtuse. And, hey, there you go.
Congratulations.
And I actually got the website for it too. I got the domain name and
Ah,
everything. So
wow,
I am
that
stoked.
was available. That's great.
Well, I'm lucky like that. So if you're looking for a podcast website domain, talk to me about it first, because usually on my first or second pick, it's available. Like I had Create Art Podcast, that was available. And I'm like, all these art podcasts that are out there, fantastic. But yeah, Clearly Obtuse was available. The original thing was
Am
supposed
I
to be
spelling it wrong?
obvious. Clearly, and that should
Clearly.
be Clearly,
L-I-O-O-B-T-U-S-E
obtuse. Yep.
dot
.com.
com.
Yep.
Okay, then your site's down then.
It's down. Uh-oh. Because
I
I
mean,
got it
is the
right up.
site supposed to be up, or you just own the domain so far?
Oh no, it's supposed to be up. It do the
Oh,
www. There it is.
yeah, you gotta fix that. So I had to put in the
Okay.
www to get it to go. Otherwise,
Gotcha.
it will not.
It
It
won't
didn't.
go.
Oh no, it did go. Wow, that was
Okay.
weird. And I don't know if it's just doing that now because I have been there and it knows, but um,
It's the
let me
wasp.
try it.
The wasp is
Yeah,
interfering.
he was watching. He's like the Family Guy wasp. What you doing over there? Clearly obtuse.com. Okay, so weird. Okay, so something weird, I
Mhm.
guess, was going on there. All right, cool. So that's a neat
Mhm.
looking website. You're using the podcast website by Podpage. Okay.
Yes, I am
And
using
how
that.
how are you how are you liking that?
I really enjoy it because it takes my RSS feed and hey, thanks, Kyle Bondo. You owe me $100, Kyle. There you go. It takes your RSS feed, and I'm not trying to make this a commercial for Podpage. I'm not getting any affiliate stuff with them or
Nah,
anything like
I'm
that.
not either, man. This is real talk.
Excellent.
Like, we're just talking about what your experiences are.
But
It's their
I
problem if
found
it
it
sucks.
exactly. But I went ahead and it takes your RSS feed and it makes a website for you. I know a little bit about WordPress. I know enough to be kind of dangerous with it. And so that's why I wanted this option, because literally it took my RSS feed. I filled out a few things on there. Some things still haven't been filled out yet. And boom, everything is right there. And it makes a decent looking website. Now, is this a website that Super Joe Pardo is going to be super proud of, or Kyle Bondo going to be super
It
proud of?
doesn't look
Probably
bad.
not.
I mean, but the thing is okay. So here's my question: is like what? And we've talked about Podpage not that long ago on this show.
Mm-hmm.
That I don't recall, but like, okay, so basic is everything in free at your own domain name for just $5 a month. I mean, it's hard. That's
Mm-hmm.
hard to beat. Like, you put in your
Yeah.
RSS feed and you get your about, and boom, all of a sudden you have a great looking page. Now, the only thing I would say is that depending on who you're hosting with, like your show, a
Mm-hmm.
lot of them do offer their own landing page, sites and things of that nature, whether it's Blueberry or
Right.
Libsyn or I mean, Podbean was, I think, one of the first ones to like offer that whole, out of the gate, like the
Mm-hmm.
easy, already pre-built kind of. They all look the same, but it did it right. Um,
Exactly.
so it's just, I mean, they got some all nice offerings. I mean, for starting at $5. Let's see.
Can't beat it.
Collect email. You can collect emails starting at $12 a month. I mean, that's
Hmm.
that is hard to beat. That is hard to beat. That's good. So I'll
Yeah,
give it a thumbs up. If you're happy, are you happy with it?
I'm happy with it. Yeah, for what I can do for the knowledge that I have, I'm very happy with it because it put all the stuff there that if I'm doing my own WordPress site, I may forget to put. Like I may
Yeah.
forget to put all those buttons in there. You know,
Yep. And
I
you got
mean,
to
I
find the
don't
right
listen to
theme that has it.
exactly.
That has it in the right places. And there's thousands. And I mean, I always, my go-to is B theme. I
Mhm.
think that they are far and away the best option for WordPress theme that you can get because it's a hyper customizable.
Mhm.
For anybody's that's asking, all my sites since 2015, since Icon Jessica Kupferman recommended it to me, it was the best, some of the best. 60, I think it's like $60, one time fee. You get all the updates. Been getting updates for years and years and years. So for all that, like, you get everything. So but it's a lot of work. Like, it's not like plug and play. If you're looking for something that's like click and go, then I would definitely look at like a Squarespace, or if you just
Mhm.
have the podcast and you just like want to like collect emails. I mean, at $12 you're even getting custom pages. So yeah, no,
Mhm.
this is awesome. And I even think even the free option makes a lot of, can make a lot of sense here, considering you're getting everything but the domain name, which, I mean,
Mhm.
technically you can just buy your domain name and forward it to whatever the pod page is for the
Yeah.
out of the gate. So
And that's
that's
exactly what I
pretty
did.
cool.
Yeah, because I didn't want to have,
Yeah.
clearlyobtuse.podpage.com. So I went to
Yeah.
Namecheap and grabbed the domain, and I was like, boom, let's go.
Yeah. No, that's good.
Mhm.
That's some smartness there. Some
Well,
big
I listen
brain.
to good people. I listen to good people like you. So
Oh,
yeah,
thank
I've been
you.
around you for a few years. So
You absolutely have. And yeah, so I'm always looking for the best deal and the best, like, what makes the most sense. And in fact, I have I think 3 AppSumo deals right now that I am like, I should probably buy these because it'll stop me from paying for other services currently. But one of them is
Mhm.
Aweber, and I'm just like, I don't really want to get rid of Aweber because of all the integrations and things. But for like $60, I could have like 10,000 emails and probably never have to pay another email thing again. But Aweber's so trusted, and it's like, I don't know. I'm going
Mhm.
back and forth on it. But anyway, so no, looking good. So what part of content creation are you stuck with, or looking at, or trying to get better with? I mean, that's what you wrote in the thing,
Well,
so that's why I'm asking. Go for
exactly,
it.
exactly. Well, it's the whole premise behind this is a what does a avant-garde podcast sound like? What is an avant-garde podcast? Which is a hard question because I mean there's certain aspects of certain podcasts that have an avant-garde quality to them. But what I'm trying to do is trying to figure out, you know, what can I get away with? What format can I stray from and still have a podcast that people are going to be interested in, listen to? Um, Maybe they subscribe. Well, obviously, I do want them to subscribe and enjoy it, but my goal is for someone to listen to the episode, scratch their head, and go, "What the heck did I hear?" And what crazy thing is in the next episode?
Hmm. Well, let me. I'm sharing my audio now. Let me hit the play button and kind of skip through a little bit here.
Mhm.
Clearly obtuse. Politics obscured. So you think 2 political parties are bad? Try 9. Welcome to Clearly Obtuse, where we experiment with found objects to create a soundscape. It's not our goal to provide answers. Rather, we are here to present the known, the understood, and make it into something unknown, uncomfortable, and challenge your emotions. Heck, we might even challenge your perceptions. Hey, I'm T. Allen, and I'll be your untrustworthy beacon on this journey. I've always wondered what an avant-garde podcast would sound like. So here you go. This is my attempt. If you get offended, then you're probably coming into this with your own preconceived notions. If you want to find a way to rule the world, go read Sun Tzu or Lao Tzu. If you just want to listen, well, you're ready to get confused. Now, some of you are blindly patriotic to your system of government. We will help you see through warped goggles. The United States has two major political parties. Some would argue there's a lot of gridlock for the past few decades. Some would say that it's set up this way so no one party can get too much power. Just think if we had more than two parties. Let's try 9 parties that have a parliamentary representation and 12 others that are either unregistered or have no representatives in the parliament. You may say to yourself, nothing would ever get done. In some places, this is not true, where they have more than 2 political parties and get the work of the people done, or the work of their financial supporters, just like here in the United States. Can you handle more than 2 parties? Well, take a listen and see if you can.
And if you're Finland, then you can stand up. Otherwise, everyone can sit down.
Oh, is this their national anthem?
Yeah, this is Finland's national anthem.
And they got
They have 9
they have
political
9
parties.
interesting.
So I'm already now here chit chatting with you, Joe. That intro is way too long. I think I just need to get right into it.
I mean, the episode's only 40 minutes long, so yeah, that is long. I like, how long does this part go on for? Is this their whole 3-minute national anthem? 2 minute.
It goes for about a minute and a half, 2 minutes. Yeah, it goes for a little while though.
So what I feel like you could do there is maybe lower it and talk over it after 10, 15, 20, 30 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's unpatriotic or not for Finland. I'm sorry, I can't hear the word Finland without thinking of South Park.
Me either.
Right? Right?
Mm-hmm.
Time has a weird echo. Tim has a weird. You have a weird echo?
I'm hearing a little bit of a weird echo. Yeah.
Oh. Huh. Weird. I don't think.
If you don't hear it, and Kyle hears it, then it's Kyle's issue.
Yeah, I don't hear. Yeah, I don't hear it. So I don't I'm still not sure what
exactly
what we're listening to, right? As far as are you going to go in and discuss their 9 parties and why they're different? Like what? Oh. Oh wow! Wait! Is that supposed to be like that?
That's supposed to be like that, yeah.
Okay, so why did you let me stop? Shouldn't have let me stop. Oh my god! Am I supposed
now that's
to
not for the
this while I'm sleeping?
That's not for the whole episode. That's just for what I did is I went through all 9 of these political parties, and I took a paragraph. Yeah, I took paragraphs from them, and so the first paragraph, I threw them all together, and then I randomly choose the paragraphs between the 9 of them for the rest of the show.
Huh.
So that way you don't know necessarily which paragraph goes with which party.
Wow.
Because if I say this is from the Christian Democrat Party, Some people may go, well, some people that will remain nameless, Kyle, may go, oh, Christian Democrats. I don't like them because they're Democrats. I'm kidding, Kyle. I'm kidding, Kyle. But I definitely want to obscure what the listener is, not to let the listener have any preconceived notions of what they're about ready to hear.
Democracy and solidarity are essential in a good society. Everyone can act according to their abilities and endurance for the well-being of people and the environment. Our party is building a just society and a just world. Freedom must be won by subjugation.
So,
the intolerant.
Are you reading at this point? Are you reading the
individual?
Is it individuals now? So like individual.
Yeah, they'll be individual.
Oh, okay.
Of humanity. 3. Civilization.
Is there anything else that sounds like what we just listened to in this episode?
No. I purposely didn't do that.
Okay.
Vision 4.
Why purposely?
Because I wanted to get the information out there, but now that you're asking that question, maybe it's a good idea to do one paragraph from everybody all together, then do one paragraph straight, and then do one paragraph all together again, because each of them got like 3 or 4 paragraphs, sentences for each political party. That's why it takes 45 minutes on that episode, or 40 minutes on that episode.
So do you ever get to the how like this could be implemented in America part, or is this just about Finland?
This is just about Finland.
Wow. Okay. So,
and I didn't pick up any people from Finland on this either. So I didn't pick up any listeners from Finland. I was shocked.
Huh. Well, I mean, I don't know. People from Finland as patriotic as like we in theory are here in America, because and the only reason I asked that is because we're driving around with Sam and Leon from Australia here around MapCon 5 last year, and they were they turned to me like, Joe, why is there so many American flags on people's houses and flag poles and things? And I was like, oh, you guys don't have that in Australia? And they're like, no, not really. Very few people will have the Australian flag on their property. And I'm like, oh, yeah, okay. That never really occurred to me, because even when I went to Barcelona, there was a lot of the Catalonian flags hanging over the balconies of apartments and stuff like that. But now thinking about when I was in Italy, I don't recall really seeing any Italian flags. It didn't stand out to me as a thing, as much as say Barcelona, and definitely here in America. So I don't know. I guess it is maybe they're just not as level of patriotic that we are, nationalism as we are.
Well, I mean, it's weird because they have very nationalist parties, and they actually have a large Swedish population that wants to secede to Sweden. So, I mean, that's one of the things that when you spend about a week studying Finland politics, you're just like, oh wow, this is more fun than America.
Wow, they want to leave Finland and just become absorbed into Sweden.
Exactly. Yeah. They're just like, yeah, we just want to take this land and go over to Sweden, and there you go. It's weird.
Wow. Huh. That is weird. Okay. Well, we're not going to go down the politics road here, but I mean, to me, I was just going to say yeah, we have 2 parties. We have independents, but we really need third, fourth, fifth party or something to that effect that's actually effective. But realistically, the 2 main parties have mini parties within the the progressives and the far right and the far left, and it's there's tents inside of tents. Within that party. So we probably could get away with having more than just the one or the 2 parties. But But anyway, why did you decide to not use your name?
Well, because I've had a podcast in the past that was the precursor to this one, where I used my name, and somebody at my old job heard it, and they talked to my boss, and my boss said, "Hey, I can't tell you to turn that off, but if you want to still remain employed here, you can turn it off." So I just changed it to T. Allen, which, my first name is Tim, my middle name is Allen, so it is still kind of me, but it's just a different play on words.
Huh. Okay. So what kind of topics are you looking to cover here? Obviously you have politics, you have heroes, and teachers are not immune. Reviewing the reviewers' opinions are like I'm
You think you know what that one's about.
yeah, right?
Opinions episode. Welcome to Clearly Obtuse, where we experiment with found sounds and soundscapes, not to understand our world, but to listen to the noise. You won't find answers here. Maybe more questions.
Huh.
This is our Opinions Are Like session, where we take a letter to the editor and the comments to the original poster and present them to you unfiltered with no commentary because someone else has already provided that. If you see yourself in here, that is the point. If you can't find your voice in here, write a letter to the editor and see what happens. The views of Studios. Maybe nobody at GagglePod Studios. The views expressed represent themselves. Well, you have been warned. Oh, I'm T. Allen, your host, and the music is from DJ Vulture. You might see us writing the letter to the editor.
The media crushed the world economy. It's probably in your best interest to avoid buying anything, buying cheap Chinese junk as often as
So-
you can anyway.
So okay. What so I don't even know. I don't even know.
Yeah.
Okay. What topics are you thinking about going down the rabbit hole on?
Well, I'm glad you asked that, because I have them written down here on good old paper.
Nailed it.
Because I'm not an expert in Evernote yet, but I'm working on it. So
Actually, I was so mad because Evernote would not stop spamming me every time I opened it up and said, "Will you please sign up for our pro account, 40% off?" And I'm like, "You guys never offered a discount. Now you're offering a discount, and you won't get out of my face." And I just need to. I'm like, I'm ready to just move on from Evernote.
Evernote, not a sponsor of this show.
No, definitely not. I love Evernote. I've used it since pretty much since its inception, back on my the BlackBerry days. But it's getting annoying.
Yep. Well, what I've got set up for this is I've got a thing of 12 episodes. And what it's going to be is it's going to be, let's see here. So like Meet Your Reviewer is Amazon reviews that I go through, 5-star, 1-star reviews, and I develop a conspiracy theory about those reviews. So I did one on lighter fluid, and I had this whole conspiracy theory on lighter fluid sommelier schools that were being created. Your opinions are like blank is all about reading the letters to the editor and reading the commentary that comes from those letters to the editor, because sometimes that is just hilarious to look at. Heroes and teachers, that's all about folks that are giving podcasting advice. You're not included in that because I like you. There we go. That echo's gone now. But yeah, that's just going through different podcast advisors. Yeah, even our show on Podrect, and going through and kind of
Oh, you know
popping it through
what?
there.
Hold on. I know. I think. Do you said the echo's gone now?
Yeah.
Oh, it's because I was sharing my audio. Yeah. Okay. My bad. All right. I'm sorry.
That would make for a great, clearly obtuse episode, though.
Yeah. 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 It was my bad. So I
Mhm.
was sharing the because you could hear yourself back, and that's the echo
Yeah.
that he was probably talking. Yeah. My bad. My bad. I forgot about that.
No worries. But yeah, I've got 12 of these, kind of lined up. I haven't done them all yet, but hey, thank you, Kyle. But it's kind of weird stuff like that I'm gonna go for with this. Um, the next one out is called, it's about word of the day posts that I did last year. I did a bunch of word of the day posts, so kind of going through them, and I've got 12 of those set up. So basically, when I get through the 12, then start over and go with meet your reviewer was about lighter fluid. So episode number 13 will be Amazon reviews about baby food. I don't know. I'll go research that and go knock it out. The political one will be about a different country, maybe Kenya, because I was stationed there for a few months, stuff like that. But it's these 12 different things that lead off into different, they can lead off into different topics. But I'm kind of finding it hard to get really good info on avant-garde stuff that's out there, and I'm trying to not make it sound exactly like um, um, oh gosh, the School of Bob, the Church of the Subgenius stuff. I don't know if you've heard that podcast before,
No.
um, but I mean that's really whacked out stuff. That it actually started in the 60s and 70s, and it's just really absurdist stuff. So yeah, that's
Hmm.
kind of more what I'm aiming for. Everything is alive, where they interview inanimate objects. They interview a street lamp. Stuff like that. That's kind of the vibe and the
Huh.
feel I'm trying to get to it.
I
But
feel like
yeah.
you could go a lot, like you could turn up the wildness more.
Mhm.
Like take that, like take it to the next, like what I'm hearing here. Uh, so so are you familiar with Dan Mace at all?
Dan Mace.
Yeah.
No.
I think you would probably really like his stuff. He does YouTube videos.
Okay.
Let me mute that. Um, but his videos are pretty like insane. He does like a new one every week, and I mean some of them are like playing music with like inanimate objects and stuff, but some of it is just so out there. Yeah, it's you have to watch it. It's really it's really crazy stuff. Anyway, I feel like you could take like you could go even like push that limit even further because I feel like if it's not like if you're not hitting that level of craziness of like absurdness of
Mhm.
obtuseness of wild thought and wild like really pushing the boundary even further, then it's like okay, this is cool, but it's not fun. Like it's not pushing a boundary, right? Like it's like it's
Mhm.
getting like right up to a boundary, but it's not crossing over that to be like I have to listen to every single episode because there's something different in each one that's like so absurdly crazy. Um, and to point out like the reason I bring up Dan Mace, he has an
Mhm.
intern that literally all he does is clip magazines and clip newspapers to build like those types of like stop motion animation for his videos.
Oh, nice.
and he's doing a video every single week. So like literally like he showed a behind the scenes. He's like the dude's just sitting there clipping stuff, and then they take it over to their camera, mounted up on white paper, and they build their scenes, and they do it, but they're doing it every single week. Like it's on a ridiculous time, schedule, not just a, oh cool, we're making 10 episodes and we have 6 months to do it, or we have 5 months to do it. So it's not a huge deal, and they're already set in what we're going to talk about. But yeah, I just feel like finding the like introducing maybe more filters or more sounds, more things of that nature, could really be like, this is that thing, right?
Gotcha.
Like you want to be the sounds of music that people heard for the first time when they listened to like the first Nirvana album, right? And we're like, holy crap, I need to hear more of this. Or the first like Nine Inch Nails album, or something where it's like, this is so like different, like I've never heard anything like this before. And it pushes the boundaries of what it can be. Maybe you try something musical in there, maybe you try something that's clipping, like where like one of the, like an example where you're talking, or this is you talking, right? I imagine.
Yeah, there's all my voice. Yeah.
Right. So like finding other like words that you could clip from like other people's voices and things, and like modulate them and put them in there. So it's like broken up and you know what I mean? Like things like that, like push that boundary further, man.
Okay,
Push
gotcha.
that further, because it's like you're getting in the right direction of it. I mean, and this is me understanding it now, 42 minutes into our conversation, understanding like where you're what I'm actually like listening to, and like what's your actual goal with this?
I'm just experimenting with it, to be quite honest. I mean, this is going to be my fun podcast, and I just want to really experiment with the whole idea of sound and of storytelling. I want to break away from a lot of regular formulas that we do, and of course, now that now that we're sitting here going through it, which is great, because we all get in our heads with our own podcast. We can't see the forest for the trees. But like the one that you played about Finland, immediately I'm thinking right now, ditch the first part of it, throw all the voices in there at one time, and then maybe do some vocals in there, and then go back to that, and go wild with it. Absolutely push that limit. I think I'm comfortable with a lot of the formulas that we have in podcasting. I mean, we don't have any hard and fast rules. Podcasting
right.
brought to you by Depends. Everything depends. But there we go. Depends. Owes me $100. Give it to Joe.
Yeah, right. Oh,
But
thank you. Too kind.
there we go. I'm a good guy like that. But yeah, that's the thing I'm trying to break away from. And I've been writing down what you're saying here. It's not, my eyes are shut. I'm writing everything down here because yeah, push the limits, push the boundaries. The thing I wrote down is collage of vocals. Because when you were saying that they're cutting up the pieces and making animation out of it, for me that's collage the vocals. So there you go.
Yeah. Have you watched Montage of Heck?
Montage from Heck? I have not.
Montage of Heck. It's like Kurt Cobain's story. It's intense, and there's a lot of scenes like artwork and stuff from like his book. It's pretty wild. It's like one of the best documentaries and it's very best as in different. It's one of the most different things I've ever watched. It's one of the most intense things I've ever watched. It's pretty crazy. I would highly recommend you check that out. Just for like craziness and things, pushing those boundaries. But yeah, it's Cobain montage of heck, and apparently, I don't know if it's on Netflix, but I'm sure it's somewhere. You can watch it on HBO.
Got it. Too
Probably
easy.
HBO Max because they got everything on there.
Well, that's why I got the 42-inch TV right behind me right here. So
Yeah,
as soon as we're
there
done
you
here,
go.
done.
That watch some Dan Mace. Find
Yep.
a couple videos of Dan Mace, and then watch that montage of heck, and it'll I think you'll get a lot of ideas out of that. That's for you'll get something out of it for sure.
Sure.
So, but yeah, I'm interested. It's like I said, it took a little bit to understand what the heck we were looking at.
Right.
And as far
And
as
most podcast audiences aren't going to give me 42 minutes. They're not going to give you. They're going to give me a half minute to a minute, and there you go.
Right. And I mean, like, out of the gate, you're hearing like the intro, and then you're hearing the intro to the show, and then then you're getting into the voices, and I think if you cut to some of that, like, out of the gate, like, I mean, if that's what you're looking for, if you're looking for this kind of stuff, I think it'll be more eye catching for that. I forget who was talking. Who was it? They were talking about like YouTube videos and convert like the click through rate and stuff, and their click through rate on videos where they didn't show the person, like a person's face out of the gate, they just like showed like some long intro out of the gate, was like way worse, because like you have like 2 seconds of like, I'm not seeing a face, I'm not seeing like, here's how you do the thing, or here's like something that's catching my attention, like bam, I'm clicking back, and you're probably not going to keep me. So things like that they're true not just for that, but also for podcasting, right? And like you said, there's no hard fast rules, and there are exceptions to every rule, right? Like here, I can't take a piece of what you're saying live before you ever said it and put it at the front of the episode to make it interesting. Like, I got to be interesting out of the gate. I got to do the intro. I got to, do that. But that's this type of show with this type of audience, a creators type audience, versus, trying to capture somebody's imagination out of the gate. And I think that's super, super important, especially when you're talking about something like that. Also, are you planning to do like seasons, or
I don't
just
think
like
I'm going to do
12
seasons.
episode run? And
well, I what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a 12 episode run, and then I'll do another 12 episode run of the same overall topic. So they will knock out the first 12, and then number 13 will be still Amazon reviews, but on a different product.
Oh,
and we'll still do the political one, but on a different country. Maybe we'll do North Korea that doesn't have any political parties, and you just got one, and there you go.
yeah.
Or maybe a country you've never heard of before. I don't know.
I'm sure there's plenty of those. Yeah, I definitely think that you're in there. You're doing so, and I think it's important. I think as we are podcasters, I think it's important for us to, no matter what kind of podcast you do, no matter what kind of success you have with the show, I think it's important for you to have some kind of pet project that you get to work on, even if it's not all the time. Like, obviously, we're busy doing other things, or we have other projects or books or whatever we're doing. But I think it's important. Like, I mean, I've worked on a lot of different podcasts over the years. Not everyone knows there's a audio drama that I wrote and we produced a pilot of. It was not great, but it wasn't that bad. What's up, Meg? How you doing? How you doing, Sonia? Good to see you. I hope things are getting better for you, Sonia. Yeah, so like we did it, we recorded it, we had a whole bunch of people in one room, and we used like the Yeti with like the full on mic array. It was a quiet room, but
Mhm.
so I have it. I have it. I dug it out not that long ago, but like a project like that, or a project like Birth, where that was like an interview style. Like you just get to learn so many other skills, and
Mhm.
get so many other ideas from those things, projects that you're doing and you're working on. So it's really, I think it's important to have something experimental, something, and it doesn't have to be like, okay, now I got to do. Now, Tim, you've married this. Now you're doing this for 52 episodes a year, and on top of everything else that you're doing. And yeah, I don't care that it takes 15 hours to put it together. Just do it. You know, um,
I can
that's
do that,
you
Joe.
know
For you, I can do
no,
that.
no, don't do it. Don't do it. You don't fall in that trap. I think it's important. I think it's really important for something like this to maybe cultivate what each episode looks like and the soundscapes that you're creating, because you're creating more of an art than a informational type of thing. Because like I don't know that anyone's going to go to listen to so much about the 9-party system of Finland as they will like, wow, like he took something and turned it into a piece of art.
Mhm.
Like that to me is more important than listing the paragraphs of the 9 different parties, or reading off the paragraph, the different parties.
Sure.
That's, to me, that's what I would be. That's my thing, right?
Yeah.
So like I'd be looking for stuff like that. Meg says, do you suggest having that pet project so that you're always learning and not putting all your expectations in one thing? Yeah,
Mhm.
because you're gonna learn other skills, right? Like I didn't understand like doing like a NPR type of interview where we're like, Tim and I are talking, but then I interlaced other conversations that we're referring to into it and things like that. Like that is really powerful, and it's important for you to understand like, look, what and I don't know if you do this, Tim, but I know I do it. Whenever I'm watching something, like whether it's TV or YouTube or a movie, like all I'm thinking about is how did they do that? What would I do if I was going to be creating that? And it actually
Mhm.
kind of
Yep.
ruins the experience for me. That, and the fact that like I can tell you how much longer is left in a movie based on what's
Exactly.
going on in the movie, almost to a T, about 90+% of the time, which is
Yeah.
disappointing because like I'm one of those people, like when we hit pause to go to the bathroom or to get more popcorn or something, I intentionally look down because I don't want to see how much is left in the movie, because I usually, if at that point I don't want it to end, and if I don't
Yeah.
want it to, but it's I already know, like it's actually getting kind of sad. Sad,
Mhm.
because it's kind of ruining the magic of watching a movie. But would you agree there, Tim, with what Meg's saying?
Absolutely. Well, I run a arts podcast, Create Art Podcast. Go figure, it's all about art. And then I
Woo!
co-host with Kyle over there, Podrect, where we help you survive your podcast. We'll be giving you $100 for each of those, there, Joe. Um, but I actually, I mean, Podrect is a two-guy show that we're helping you survive your podcast and all that kind of good stuff. And my art podcast, my Create Art podcast, is inspiring people to do something, to go create art. Because I've heard so many people go, I'm not an artist, no, nobody likes my stuff. And I'm like, no. I think your stuff could actually be in a gallery. I think you could actually get paid to do that. So that's why
Me?
I do that
No
show.
way.
Absolutely, Joe. You could definitely get paid. As a matter of fact, here's your $100 right there,
Oh, thank you
and
very
give a
much.
little
I
bit to
I
that wasp
appreciate it.
over there too.
Yeah, right.
But
Dancing on
yeah,
my camera. This is not
but
TikTok.
I needed
It's my security camera.
exactly. But I needed something to kind of break out of that, and I was always asking myself, Kyle, why are we doing it this way? Why are we formatting stuff this way? Can we break that format? And Kyle was like, why don't you try something new? Why don't you try to break the format? And so that's what clearly Obtuse is going to turn into. Is we're going to be breaking formats, but um, you have given me a lot to think about, and yeah, it's still going to be my pet project, my baby project. I'm not putting 52 hours a week into it, but um, you've given me permission to push the limit and push the boundaries in it. So I'm going to go ahead and do that with you. With your blessing, I'm going to
Good.
go ahead and do that.
Good. And you should, right? Because this is what that's what you're there for, right? You're not doing this to create another podcast to have another thing on your plate to do. You have twins, like you got plenty on your plate to do, right? But you're doing it to get something else out of it, and you don't I don't know what that is yet, and you don't know what that is yet, right? It's going to take time to figure that out, but you're only going to get there if you really push it, because otherwise, it's just going to become another podcast in the belt, right? Like, okay, I did this thing, but if you create something that you're like, wow, like this is really different, this is really powerful, and you push those limits, like that's kind of like when I did the with the TV show, right, with the top, like we did vlogging, like one-on-one, like me talking to the camera type stuff, to kind of merge what we see, what's popular on like YouTube with like the format that's like popular with mass media TV, right? So it's like trying to find that right balance and pushing as much as you can, with the time constraints that you have, to find something else, find something different. So yeah, I really think. I think this is great, and I think that more people should have something like this at some point in their career, right? Like for right now, like I'm already doing 3 shows, like I don't have the time to do something like this, so I would love to do something like this. But I would also love to revisit the audio drama, right? But that means I got to write scripts, and I got to do like there's a whole bunch of things that got to happen to do that. And also, by the way, there's no money in it. So like even to just do like a 5-episode or 6-episode run of something like that would take an immense amount of time. So I don't know. Someday, when the kids get older and like things progress, I definitely will be revisiting things like that for me. And in the meantime, I think this is awesome. I think I'm excited to see what you have in the future here, now that you're getting the gears thinking about like how you can push further, because I think you need to. I think you have to, if you want this to be a success for you. To learn and grow and all that from that point of view. Because obviously not every podcast is about money, right? And that's not why I was asking that. What's your goal for this, sir? Like, what do you expect to make millions of dollars? No, it's not about that, right? It's about finding something else that you just don't know what it is. It's one of the reasons I go running almost every day. I mean, I wish I was sooner, but it's been a while. But is because when I'm out there, I'm listening to music and I'm creating ideas and playing around with things, and like, okay, I'm going to write that down, and maybe it's going to be another year or two before I can get around to it. I have another book that I want to write, and now I have a name for it. Why? Because I went running, and to me, that's where I'm experimenting right now, right?
Nice.
Yeah. So like, there's things like that you have to give yourself that space, and sometimes it's creating, sometimes it's meditating, sometimes it's running, sometimes it's getting in the car and just being a Sunday driver and making everybody else's life miserable on Sunday, or on Tuesday.
Exactly.
Because you took the day off. But so it's just give it some thought. Let me know when the next some of the next episodes drop out, and we'll get them shared here in the community, and get some more feedback. Also,
Sounds
let me know
good.
what you think of those 2 things, Dan Mace and the Montage of Heck. I don't think you can't watch Dan Mace. You kind of could watch around kids, maybe. They do curse sometimes, but Montage of Heck you cannot watch around your kids.
Okay, I won't do that.
Not child safe. It's very much not. Heck, it's not even people safe in some by some people's standards. But
have you heard the language coming out of my girl's mouth? Oh wait, no, it's because I taught him that. Never mind.
Oh man. But well, Tim, and is there anything else I can answer for you or fill in?
Well, Super Joe, I think you nailed it. You gave me exactly what I needed. I came in here for content creation, and And you know the kind of guy I am. You've seen me on Facebook. You've seen me in person. You know that I like to go for that weird stuff. And I think I kind of needed someone like yourself, and I'm glad that I got to talk to you about this. Needed somebody from the external to go, hey Tim, you have permission, go for it. You know, go 110, and if you need to dial it back to 100, that's fine. But go 110, see how far you can go, and that's what I'm going to do with it. And for me, it's a success if 10 people listen to it, because that's nine other people that haven't heard it before. So for me, it's going to be a success no matter what, because I'm going to learn something from it. And every time I tune into this show, I learn something from you. So thank you for giving me that permission to go ahead and go 110. I'm going to go 110 down 95 right now. That way I can get over to your house
don't
for
kill
lunch.
somebody. Please don't kill somebody.
You got
we don't need that. We don't need that to happen. You can do 65 in there on the highway.
I think that's all my Kia Soul can go anyways.
Oh man, well Tim, thank you so much for being a guest here, a victim here on the IndiePod Daily Training Thursday. It's been an absolute pleasure, sir.
Thank you so much, Super Jill. Thank you so very much, and keep on doing what you're doing, man. And hey, Iron Fist is here as a moderator to help you out.
I appreciate that. We gotta talk after we get off the phone, off the recording here. But and he is one of our moderators. I forgot to mention that he is one of our icon moderators. So if you get your post removed, it's not always my fault. It could be Tim's fault, and one of our other number of other moderators that we have in the community, but it's probably Tim's or my fault. It really is. Kyle says I can't drive 110. Yes, he's a wild man. I was thinking of Aqua Teen Hunger Force there. No, it's Tim Hagar. No, I know. Anyway. Well, the announcement I wanted to make earlier was, so I think Tim, what I'm gonna do is one of the downsides of efficiency is that we push ourselves to do more and more. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm going to dial back the training Thursdays into Wednesdays and do a flip, like go back and forth. So like 1 week will be like this, where we're doing the training on Wednesday. I don't know what I'm going to call it yet, but trainings on Wednesdays, and then flip it over to Wisdom Wednesdays, where we have guests on to share expertise, and then flip back and forth back and forth. So that way that I could kind of free up some more time, because these episodes, even though I'm only recording them for an hour and I have the process down, it's still, when you add up all of the episodes over the course of a week, it's like 10 hours plus of time that I'm utilizing, and then I have to recuperate from, because I'm sitting in front of my computer under the lights and the being on and all that. So like I'm trying to find a balance. Plus I want to get back into the Super Joe Pardo show and doing that at least once a week. So like I'm trying to find the right balance, but it's not that I'm not going to be posting, not that we're not, I'll still be doing the Facebook lives on Saturdays and Sundays are the easiest, right? I flip out my phone and then just talk for 5 minutes and bounce, right? So those are the easy ones. It's the other ones that like these episodes. So I think I'm going to try to condense it a little bit. It'll still be the IndiePod Daily Show, because I will probably, if you're in the group, it's still daily. Like we're still gonna have questions and help and all that stuff every single day. It's just, not here in the YouTube channel and the Facebook or the RSS feed, right, for the podcast. So it's just going to be a little bit different, tweaking it a little bit, trying to find, dial it in the right amount of help. But I really have loved doing these training Thursdays. It has been an honor to be able to help people and continue to help people like yourself, Tim, and all the other people we've had. And that's, I'm going to put the link out back in the group, because I don't have any. I got to fix my Calendly so that it'll start booking on Wednesdays and flip flop every other week. But yeah, so I'll be doing, that's another thing on my to-do. I have a lot of things on my to-do list right now, and There's a couple of blockades in there.
I've got
I
it
need
right
to
here
stop.
for you. I'm taking
I
notes.
have it right. It's all over here. Like so I have a lot on there, and I'll to be perfectly honest, and the reason to be honest is because I as a creator who is a creates for creators, the part of the problem is like I have this list of to-dos. I have a bucket list of things I want to get done and do. They're just not as important on the list, right? So what ends up happening is like, okay, cool, I made it through the week. I got like a little bit of the things I should be getting done, but then now it's Monday again, and I got to start creating all the Facebook lives in StreamYard and the thumbnails and all that. Like, and it's like it just takes time, and it's like, okay, well, it's just me doing this stuff. So
Yeah.
So kind of dialing it back a little bit, but still being here and available, and maybe doing some of the stuff from like my phone more, like on Mondays and Tuesdays, and not necessarily putting them into the feed, but doing and because like truth be known, the downloads of this show from the RSS feed is not a lot. We get way more views through the Facebook outlet and YouTube than we do on the RSS feed. Now that's growing, but it's growing very snail pace. So it's it's important, but it's just like all these extra steps. So it's like, okay, so I just have to like focus in so I can get this down to like like once a week, where that's where I have to be in front of the computer, the camera, the lights, and all that's like getting everything set up, getting the thumbnail together, and the rest of the time just getting in the group, mixing it up, and entertaining and educating the E&E of the business. So yeah. So I look forward to that. I'll be fixing the Calendly probably either today or tomorrow, putting it out there so we can start filling some slots, because I think we only have one more training Thursday. It's not next week, but I think it's in 2 weeks. We have Heather Warburton, who's an icon in our community, will be coming on. So apparently she said, "Are you okay with a little bit of communism?" And I was like, "Hey, I keep an open mind here." So I don't know. We'll see.
Well, you had Finland politics on for this show, so yeah, why not communism? There you go.
We'll just have you can have a conversation. That's how we learn. That's how we grow as people. Right, is that be able to have those conversations even when we don't necessarily agree or disagree, or as long as we're not spewing hate. So anyway, I appreciate everybody watching. If you want to get a free ride into the IndiePod University, where you can learn to launch, grow, and monetize your podcast with me and so many other our university students, go over to indiepodu.com. If you want to try to win a free month ride, go to indiepodcasters.com/Graham and hit the follow button, and we'll pick a winner tomorrow for a 1 month free ride into the IndiePod University. Mark your calendars. October 24th will be our next virtual podcast conference. It'll be held here in the community. It'll be free, and we're looking for sponsors. So if you know anybody that wants to, interested in sponsoring and reaching, quite a few podcasters, and we're almost to 2,000 members in the community, which is incredible.
Nice.
Yeah, it's really crazy. So we're, if you know somebody that's interested in that, or you're interested in that, reach out to me, joe@indiepodcon.com, or just message me on Facebook, whatever. I'm available. I got my phone. Tomorrow's Free Ride Friday. I will see you all then. And of course, don't forget about Saturday, which is Social Saturday, to post one of your social media links, and shine on Sunday for your newest podcast episode, your newest product or service. Everybody have a great day, and I get to meet Reger in person tonight, so I'm looking forward to that. We're gonna go have dinner,
Nice.
outdoor, hopefully somewhat socially distanced. I hope. I don't know. I don't know how this whole eating. I haven't eaten at a restaurant in a long time at this point. Not since Disney World. Where it was not that the most comfortable feeling, knowing that the virus was. It was so. I gotta tell a story.
Yeah.
So Melissa and I go. My mom was like, "You have to go out to dinner. You cannot stay here this entire time and not go out to dinner." So we go out to dinner. We go to the California Grill, which is on the top of the whatever it's called, contemporary in Disney World, right? Overlooking the castle and everything. And me and her, like, we know that like this whole virus thing is like a thing, but we were just looking around. It's just like I felt like I was sitting at like the top of the Titanic, like for real. Like everybody's like, yeah, everything's cool, and like literally the ship's sinking outside the window, and it's like, it's cool, right? We got our fancy wine and our, our
Exactly.
high end, $20 sushi rolls or $30 sushi rolls, and it's all good. It's all good. So and that was, I don't know if that was the last night, but it was one of the last nights that we were there, and we're like, are we gonna be able to get home? Like, I'm panicking, I'm worried. I don't know what the future holds for us. Anyway, this will be the first time going out to eat. I think since that restaurant experience. So
Yeah.
back in March, it is what it is. It'll be fun. I'm looking forward to meeting Regger in person because it's been like a year since we were supposed to meet. He literally lives like one town over from me. So
Oh my gosh.
I'm looking forward to that. I know. It's bad. So I'm going up the street to go meet him at Cinder Bar here. So looking forward to it. Tim, thanks again for being here. One last time, drop your website so anybody, because it's been like 10 more minutes in the show.
10 more minutes? Sure, not a problem. Well, if you want to hear some really wild avant-garde stuff, you need to listen to clearlyobtuse.com. Hit the www first, though. If you want to learn how, it should work. I don't know. It was a little funky for me when I first did it.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah. Well, it opened up for me now again, so I don't know. Maybe it was just me. Anyway, thank you everybody for watching. Have a great night. I'll see you tomorrow for Free Ride Friday.